limit law that deal with a function and the difference of quotient. So this expression that you see, f of 3 plus h minus f of 3 divided by h, in pre-calculus we call it difference of quotient. And because it's a quotient, something divided by something. So how do we approach a problem like this? The first thing to do is to replace the expression for f of x and f of x plus h. So we rewrite the limit as h goes to 0. On the top is 3 plus h. So it's the square root of the argument. So right here is x. Inside the radical is x. And the argument here is 3 plus h. So inside the radical must be 3 plus h. Okay, so the expression is the square root of the input minus 7. So that is the first expression. I suggest you to use parentheses because it's very easy to make a mistake. And I have seen a lot of mistakes made without using a parenthesis. The reason is because here's a subtraction sign. So when you have a subtraction sign, it's much safer to use the parenthesis. Okay, so you can see why very soon. So the next expression is f of 3. So what it is, just square root of 3 minus 7. And in the bottom is just h. So we replace the expression, and then the number 2 is simplified. So what you do, okay, you simplify the limit. So on the top is the limit as h goes to 0, square root of 3 plus h minus 7. And then you distribute the minus sign. Okay, so subtract square root of 3. Subtract negative 7 is plus 7. And that's why negative 7 and 7 cancel. So on the top, it's just square root of 3 minus plus h minus square root of 3. And in the bottom is h. So I'm going to rewrite the expression. H goes to 0. So we have square root of 3 plus h minus square root of 3 divided by h. Now at this point, it's easy or clear to see what to do is we use a conjugate. Okay, so the expression here is a minus sign, so we have to use a plus sign to connect them. And we keep the expression the same. So square root of 3 plus h plus square root of 3. So that's on the top, and same thing on the bottom. 3 plus h plus square root of 3. So now on the top, so I'm going to write up here. On the top, okay, as h goes to 0, we get the square root of both, square of both expressions. So it'll be 3 plus h and a 3 back here, okay? And what we're using conjugate. So if you use conjugate, what we need is the difference of square formula. Okay, so what it is square, so make it simple, a minus b times a plus b. What that expression is just a squared minus b squared. So square root of square root of 3 plus h, the square is just 3 plus h. Okay, subtract square root of 3, the square is just 3. So 3 subtract 3, on the top you only have h left. But I'm going to rewrite everything. So in the bottom you do not expand, okay? Because expanding doesn't help us anyway. So you rewrite the whole thing, h goes to 0. On the top, 3 minus 3 cancel out. or 3 minus 3 is 0, so it's just h left. In the bottom you have h times square root of 3 plus h plus square root of 3. Now you see cancellation of h, and there will be no problem. Now when you do a cancellation, h on the top you don't get 0, you get 1, okay, because you're doing a division. So then you get limit as h goes to 0, 1 over square root of 3 plus h plus square root of 3. And right here you can do the replacement, okay, you can plug in h equals 0. And then you will get, the final answer is twice square root of 3 divided by, 1 divided by 2 times square root of 3. You can rationalize it, but it's not necessary. So the final answer is 1 over 2 square root of 3. And this is how we handle difference of quotient within a limit.